the longest time, people were wondering why Sweet Baby Inc. had Electronic Arts listed as one of their partners on their website, and it looks like this latest update to The Sims 4 explains exactly why. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. A lot of Sims players out there, especially for Sims 4, are not the biggest fans of the latest changes going on with their game. Changes that are requiring updates to the terminology of how people are addressed. And this feels a lot similar to a lot of the other things that Sweet Baby Inc. has been involved with. The introduction of the Love Struck expansion pack has sparked some widespread controversy, not only for the content involved with it, but also for the approach to the topic as foundational, as basic as marriage. Removing terms like husband and wife and switching that out for spouse might not seem like that big of a deal on the surface, but it always brings you back to, if it's not a big deal, why are we doing this? Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full detailed article going in depth into these changes with The Sims 4 and why the community is so pissed off about it. First off, huge shout out to Devin for sending an email to info@smashjt.com with this stuff, because I had no idea it was this bad. Not only is Electronic Arts making changes to the terminology in Sims 4, but it also feels like there's some funny business going on around Reddit, because anytime people try to question any of this, the forum topics are immediately deleted and shut down. Coincidence? I think not. Devin sent me the email stating, the only way to restore a tiny bit of this functionality is to purchase a new expansion pack, which costs $40. A lot of folks are upset about this, even folks on the LGBT side of things, because it makes things less inclusive for everyone, including gay people who prefer being husband and husband, wife and wife, etc. Meaning that the terminology has been washed away and made so generic that nobody could possibly be offended, because it removes the terminology for the genders, and it's so basic and gender neutral that they're going for this ambiguous notion of gender stereotypes should not fall under one of two categories, which is just really weird when you're playing a video game about Sims. Gamers are really pissed off about this, especially on Reddit. There are a few people that are in the camp of EA saying, yeah, it's a good thing, pushing everything towards inclusivity and sensitivity because that's what we need in a Sims game. And then it's balanced off with the people that have, rational thoughts of like, why are we doing this? It's kind of weird and strange. Don't we think that we shouldn't be doing this? Shouldn't we just focus on making the game better and not focus on inclusivity for terminology? Because it seems like we're going a little too far for the pandering. The language for Sims relationships now is more neutral to be more inclusive. Gone are the days of husband and wife. It's now been replaced with spouse. And removed the fiancé and fiancée with engaged. And no, we don't need boyfriend, girlfriend. We can just change that to partner, because there are no boys and girls in this world. There are whatever the hell you want to be. Thankfully, there is some sanity left in the community with a modder by the name of Zero, who on his Patreon laid out the terms of the update with the mod that they created, with a couple of mods to remove some of the stuff that's being pushed down from the top. Zero said on his Patreon post, I made this while waiting for the expansion pass to come out, because I was bored and got pissed in the meantime. Maxis fully embraced the pronoun idiocy in the last expansion packs. This mod removes the pronouns they're giving to the pre-mades. And checking into that Patreon post further, there are comment replies thanking Zero for his efforts, like Terry Berry, who said, thank you for this, Zero, truly. As gender dysphoric gay man right now, I don't want to see these changes. I fought for inclusion, diversity before, as an activist, sure, but not erasure of gender, gendered languages. Adding gender-neutral things shouldn't come at the cost of erasing already established truths. That's totally not what and I think many of older generation of LGBT activists fought for. I know this is a rambling of a jaded former activist, me, but thanks. Here we go, because this is actually a great perspective from someone on the other side that's like, yeah, I fought to have these inclusivity terms put into games, but not at the cost of deleting the old gender terms, the terms that people have used for generations, for thousands of years, yet all of a sudden in modern era it's not acceptable anymore. It smells like something else deeper is going on here. While I cannot confirm specifically that Sweet Baby Inc. had anything to do with this, Electronic Arts is listed on their webpage as one of the companies that they partner with. And this is completely on brand with exactly like something that Sweet Baby Inc. would do and have done in the past on other games. And I can't help but think that this is like a mandate that their company has to go to every company and try to switch the terminology into gender neutral terms so that everyone is forced to think the same ideology. And that in itself is not just insidious, but scary as hell. And with EA going along with this strategy, it's a clear and obvious attempt to capitalize on current cultural momentum towards greater diversity and inclusion by implementing these changes against the will of many people in the community, removing more universally accepted terms without providing any alternatives. They have risked alienating not only traditional players, but also the people that they were aiming to include in the first place. They've literally found a way to piss everybody off. Charlie Cooper on the Patreon post replied to Zero saying, "So glad you plastered the BS response from so-say inclusion activists, except they need to erase to feel included. If you have to erase someone to feel accepted, you might want to question your own identity in the first place. I don't have to erase men to feel like a woman. Same with what the original LGBT stood on, not what the alphabet soup want these days, because the alphabet soup is an insane mafia, a mob that is going around changing everything to their terminology needs, not because they care, not because they want people to understand and relate to them, but because they want to fully control the narrative. And changing the language is exactly how they do that. The fact that such a mod is even necessary and especially popular speaks volumes about the community's reception to these changes. Electronic Arts being listed on Sweet Baby Inc.'s website as a partner, does it have anything to do with these terminology changes? I'm leaning towards yes, extremely likely. It's not like EA is listening to what gamers actually want. They'd rather pander to that elusive modern audience and call anyone questioning the changes a bigot. You know, the whole corporate win-win. We're gonna do exactly what we want to do to change the perception and mentality of the community. If you don't go along with our complete narrative change and overhaul of the English language and how genders are addressed, you're a bigot. You're the person in the wrong. Otherwise, feel free to join us on this onslaught of destroying the language and modern genderology, because for some reason, we need that in gaming. At least, that's what these game companies seem to think they want. The Sims franchise has been long celebrated for its broad appeal and ability to mirror real-world diversity. However, in this case especially, the latest move with the Lovestruck expansion pack reveals a concerning trend towards commodification of inclusivity. By altering key aspects of the game's social dynamics, EA has overstepped in its bid to remain relevant and progressive. True inclusivity in gaming involves thoughtful integration of diverse identities and experiences, not these token gestures that come at extra costs. Based off of the Reddit posts that I've been reading through and all the backlash that this is seeing, the people that benefit from this inclusion representation are recognizing it and rejecting it themselves. Literally nobody wants this. I've seen a few people pandering it like, oh, here's what we think we want, but it feels like they're just doing that on an empty basis, like they don't really even care about it. The vast majority of gamers are saying, no, this is not what we want. Stop doing this with our games. It falls right in line with what happened with Dragon Quest III and removing the gender language and just going with type A and type B. Now we have removing husband and wife and just listing it as spouse. Sure, not the biggest deal in the world when you pull the lens back and say, hey, it's just some terminology changes that are genuinely accepted by society. Just go with it. Whatever. It's not a big deal. But at the end of the day, again, if it's not a big deal, then why are you doing it in the first place? And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. And you know exactly what these companies want out of it. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link it in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, please consider hitting that join button. Thank you for watching. And as always, you stay smashing. Smash,
change.